Blessings, everyone, and welcome back to Expressions of Faith. Thank you so much for watching. I pray you guys have had a great day. Today, I'm doing an entry documenting my twin daughter's 40th birthday. Yesterday, they turned 40 years old and entered a new decade. And I can't believe it, y'all. I'm serious. Sometimes I ask myself, where did the time go? Time goes by extremely fast, y'all. Don't take not one moment for granted. Enjoy every single day of your life. Anyway, so y'all know me. I had to do an entry documenting their 40th birthday. You know how when we were little kids, right? And our parents or aunts and uncles or neighbors or friends would ask us, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I remember, well, I don't really remember being age 6. I don't think my memory goes back that far. But anyway, my mom told me that from the time I turned 6 years old, when someone would ask me that question, my answer would always be, I want a big family. I want a lot of children. I want a husband. And I want a big house. And she said everybody would just laugh. Like, that would be so funny to everyone. And I remember in elementary school and junior high school, when me and my friends would just have conversations about, they would start talking about what they wanted to do and what they're going to be when they grow up and when they graduate high school. They were going to college and they wanted to be a lawyer, a doctor, a policeman, a fireman, and, all those glorious positions, careers that people applaud. And from the age of 6 all the way up to junior high school, all the way up my entire life, whenever someone asked me that question, I would always say, I want to be a wife, I want to have a lot of children, I want a big family, and I want a big house. Y'all, I truly believe that God put that desire in my heart. The Bible tells us that God will give us the desires of our heart. I don't believe that means whatever our little heart desires, God's going to give it to us. I believe that it means that what God desires for us, He puts those desires in our hearts so that we can desire it. So that we can desire and want the things that He wants for us. So I truly believe that all the way from age 6 all the way up until I got married, my number one desire was to be a wife, to have a lot of children, have a big family, and live in a big house, right? So anyway, I said all that to get to this point. I gave birth to 5 children. I said in a previous video, by the time I was 23 years old, I had a big family. That desire came to pass. I had given birth to 5 children. The twins were my 3rd pregnancy. And from the time I guess was about 3 months pregnant with them, I realized that this pregnancy was completely different than the previous 2 pregnancies. It just felt different. The morning sickness was different. My body felt different. And I started showing sooner. So by the time I was 4 months pregnant, I looked like I was 6 months pregnant. Right? So at the 7th month, you know how they measure your stomach to see, how big the baby is. Well, because 40 years ago, they wasn't doing ultrasounds, right? So they would just measure your stomach. And so my doctor would say, I want you to prepare yourself because this is going to be a big baby. I believe that it's going to weigh between 10 and 12 pounds. So you may have to have a C-section. I said, oh, well, that's why I feel different because, it's a big baby. Oh, my God. So, y'all, by the time I turned 7 months, I could no longer get up from a seated position by myself. Somebody had to help me get up. I could no longer sleep in a lying position. I had to sleep in a recliner chair. I could no longer get in and out the shower without help. That's how big I was. I was huge. So everybody thought I was just going to have this huge 12, 15-pound baby, right? So when it's time for me, my 9 months, I reached 9 months, it's time for me to deliver. When I go into labor, I stay in labor for 72 hours. And it was the longest, most painful labor I had ever experienced. It was excruciating. It was horrible. It was so painful. Literally thought I was going to die. So when I dilate to 10, and it's time to push, they take me from the labor room to the delivery room, and it's pushing time. Now, 40 years ago, no one can go into the delivery room with you. So nobody was in the delivery room but the nurses and the doctor and you. Nobody was allowed in back then in those days, right? So I go into labor. I deliver Tiffany. She weighs 6 pounds and 13 ounces. I was like, oh my God. I went through all this for 6 pounds and 13 ounces, right? So, hey, she's delivered. I have a healthy baby girl. I'm laying there. They're cleaning me up. They're cleaning the baby up. They bring the baby over to me for me to hold her. Then they take the baby from me and they put her over there in the little incubator thing or whatever you call it. And I'm laying there and they're getting ready to push me back to the recovery room. So the nurse takes me to the recovery room. I'm recovering. I just had a beautiful baby girl, 6 pounds, 12 ounces. I mean, the birth is over, right? So I'm laying there. I've been in the recovery room probably about 15 minutes. Another doctor comes in, and he says, "Congratulations, Miss Scroggins. I remember you when you came in here, maybe like a week ago, with false labor." He said, "You don't remember me? Remember I told you, oh my God, are you just having one baby? You're going to have a huge baby. I'm going to be praying for you." So he says, "So what did you have?" I said, "I had a girl." He said, "How much did it weigh? 15 pounds? I said, 6 pounds, 12 ounces. He said, "You got to be kidding me." I said, "No, sir. 6 pounds, 12 ounces. So he's not my doctor, right? So he puts his hand on my stomach. He starts feeling around. He said, "Are you feeling okay?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You not having any more pains?" I said, "No, sir." He said, You sure you okay?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "What's your doctor's name?" That's okay. I can find that. Let me go talk to the nurse. He goes and finds my doctor. Him and my doctor come back in. My doctor starts like feeling around, mashing around. He said, "Come on." He starts calling for the nurses, pushing the buttons. Everybody starts running in. They push me back to the delivery room. I'm scared now, y'all, because I don't know what's happening. I thought I was sick. I thought I was dying. I didn't know. They wasn't telling me anything. And when I got to the delivery room, they said, "Somebody go get," they said, "Is your husband here?" I said, "He's in the waiting room." They said, "Go get Mr. Scroggins. Tell him to suit up, bring him to delivery." Now, I knew something was terribly wrong then because they don't let anybody come to the delivery room, right? So after my husband gets suited up and he comes, they bring him back to the living room and they start feeling on my baby. They say, "Well, we're going to check you vaginally. I'm about to check you again." I need to reach my hand up and then feel around. He checks me. He said, "Oh my God, Mr. and Mrs. Scroggins, there's another baby in there." I was like, "What?" They said, "There's another baby in there. And the baby is turned sideways. We can either do a C-section or we can either reach up in there and turn the baby around in the right direction. If I do that, it's going to hurt like hell." I said, "Do it." Y'all, it's not even a word in the human language to describe the pain I felt when he did that. And as soon as he turned the baby around, I started having contractions again. They say it's time to push. I pushed, and here comes another beautiful baby girl. Y'all, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. All this time, I had been carrying twins and didn't even know it. And when I think about it, it brings that scripture to life that God said, I am able to do exceedingly, abundantly above all you could ever ask, think, or imagine. God let me carry two babies at one time and hid it from everybody. He wanted it to be a surprise. Y'all, it was the biggest surprise I have ever received in my entire life. I'm telling you. Just think about it. You're thinking you're going to have one baby, and you have twins. You have twins. They were 48 minutes apart. Fraternal twins. They're not identical. Two girls, Tiffany and Charity. God will blow your mind, and God will definitely make you laugh. So even though all my pregnancies were special, even though all my children are loved and I love them all the same, even though I adore carrying and being pregnant and carrying a baby and giving birth, this third pregnancy stands out from the rest because I was carrying two babies and nobody knew it but God. God is so awesome, y'all. And my babies turned 40 years old on yesterday, entered into a new decade. I was 20 years old when they were born. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? And I'm so thankful that they asked me and my husband to take part in their birthday photo shoot. They had to have their pops and mom in their photo shoot. And I'm so grateful and thankful to them because that really brought us honor. So I had to document it, y'all. I had to share my no, it's not a little testimony. That's a huge testimony. That's a big thing. That's a huge God wink. To allow you to carry two babies and then hide it from you until delivery day. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of Expressing Your Faith family. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so thankful for each one of you guys. I love you with the love of the Lord. Thank you so much for supporting my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And remember, it's all about Jesus. It's all about Him. So I'm going to put you guys on fast forward. Enjoy the rest of the video. And until next time, bye-bye.